Here is the final test. This is the ANOVA test. So you use this test when you're comparing a numerical variable, so just like we did before, but now we're comparing it with a categorical with many levels. Okay, so here what I said is difference of GPA among majors. So that's what we're going to look at. We're going to look at the GPA and then the majors. Okay, is there any difference in GPA among the different majors that I have? So the way that we're going to do this, we're going to count first how many majors we have. So if we look at the majors, we had a total of 4 different majors. So the way that we set up our hypothesis is going to be the following way. We're going to say HO is going to be that the mean of the first major is equal to the mean of the second major, which is equal to the mean of the third major, which is equal to the mean of the fourth major. This means that all majors have the same mean GPA. Okay, that's how you're going to write it. So this is the mean of every individual major. Okay, so HA is going to be that no, they are different, or at least one of them is different. Okay, so they are different. The mean, there is a different mean GPA somewhere. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, this is going to be very simple. We're going to click on stat, then we're going to go down to ANOVA and click one way. Okay, so here what we're going to do, we're going to click on values in a single column. Okay, so we're going to choose our GPA, and the categorical variable that we're looking at is major. Okay, so now we're going to click on compute, and what it'll do, it'll tell us physically what our means are. These are all my individual means for all of my individual majors. You can see that there really isn't a difference between all of them. And here's my p-value, this 0.7427. So 0.7427 is going to be my p-value. 0.7427. My alpha is going to be 0.05. You can see that my p-value is really high, so we're failed to reject. Okay, so we failed to reject null hypothesis. Okay, so what can we conclude? Well, we have to say cannot conclude that they're different. Cannot conclude that GPA is different among majors. Okay, and also you can even see this even if you were to graph it. So if I were to graph it with a box plot, so I put box plot, I look at GPA, and then I want to group it by the majors, you can kind of see that there is going to be very little differences. There's hardly any. Okay, now right before I conclude this test, I do want to make a disclaimer that all these tests that I've done, there are some assumptions that that you need to do in order to do these types of tests. In particular, your sample size has to be very large. It has to be a simple random sample, and you're going to have some sort of normality between these. So we may be violating a couple of the assumptions, but just for the sake of this elementary statistics course, this is going to be, we're going to just pretend that the assumptions already have been satisfied, and we're going to proceed forward with this as otherwise you will have to use some sort of non-parametric technique. So this is for anyone who's outside, who is not in my class, my current class. This is just a disclaimer for those that are taking advanced statistics. I'm not checking the assumptions. Okay, all right, and that's just it for this one.